there, folks.
Welcome to the October version of the Cheese Club. I'm Casie, this is Matt. We're both certified cheese professionals and events host here at Antonelli's. But for today's purposes,
I'm a Pokemon trainer.
and I'm a Gorgon named Zola. So I'm the Gorgon Zola.
Wordplay.
Yeah, I'm the lesser known sister, but way more fun at a party.
Clearly.
So, yeah.
Knows a lot about cheese. So
Exactly.
Real popular. We are going through all sorts of delicious cheese and candy pairings today, which is a lot of fun. It's not something that people usually think of for pairings for cheese, but you can get a lot of really cool flavor combinations, especially when you're just sticking to your classic like pairing theory ideas.
Exactly.
There's a couple of these that I do look forward to all year round, so there are some actual really good hits here.
Yeah, this was probably our first of like our sillier classes that we started offering, the cheese and Halloween candy, and it's been a big hit. We do offer this class here at Antonelli's in person, but then we also year-round offer a cheese and chocolate class with all of our artisanal chocolates because we just love cheese and sweets so much together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we are going to start off over here. We have this spectacular fresh chev from Vermont Creamery. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is from Vermont Creamery, obviously out in Vermont. It's going to be light, it's going to be milky. This is one of our fresh cheeses. Nice little bit of like lactic kind of brightness to it, a little bit of salt. But not overwhelming. So we've paired it with the Smarties. And what's really fun about the Smarties is there's all those different flavors, right? So some of them may be your most favorite combination, some of them may be less most your favorite combination, but still gonna be fun because you got the crunchy of the crunchy and sweet of the Smartie, and we've got the creamy and the kind of tart and brightness and saltiness of the cheese. So when those two elements come together, you get a really surprisingly complex pairing for something that we that's generally pretty straightforward.
The texture really stood out to me there. That nice crunch of the Smartie with the tanginess of the chev, I actually really enjoyed. I really love the sweet and salty combinations, so I thought that was really, really pleasant.
Yeah.
Like, that was a really nice surprise.
I know, yeah. Yeah, because the Smarties are, they're a little bit chalky, so the creaminess of that chev really kind of balances everything out.
Yeah, it mingled together very, very nicely.
Yeah.
Our second cheese here is one of my favorites that we've had at the shop for many, many years. This is the lovely Caña de Oveja, beautiful Spanish sheep's milk cheese. I have a memory early on as a cheesemonger, a guest comes in and asks me for a cheese that looks like a log covered in snow, and they were looking for this beautiful cheese here. It's really lactic, it's really tangy, it has this wonderful layered texture to it where it's very chalky in the middle but gets a little bit creamy right under the rind. So that's a cheese, definitely like try out each part of the cheese, see how that flavor and texture transforms as you go from the inside to the outside. We have that paired with these Red Hots, which I think is going to be a fun combination. We have another cheese from Spain called Leonora a Fuego, which is rubbed with a paprika rind. So you get the nice tangy and spicy together. So I think this will be a fun contrast of flavors. So I'm going to have a little bite of that. Good.
Plus, I feel like we've got some like fun fall flavors here. We're just now flirting with the idea that there's another season beyond summer here in Texas, and so I'm pretty stoked about all the cinnamon flavored things. Ooh.
Again, a nice texture pop. I think that's really, really nice. Again, you get the sweet and salty contrast. That warmth of the cinnamon is really pleasant, and sometimes Red Hots can be kind of intense, but the cheese actually mutes that in a really nice way.
I think because the sheep's milk has so much delicious butter fat that it's really canceling out that sort of spicy heat.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was delicious.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, good stuff. Cheese is so tasty.
So good. All right, so this next one is, of course, I love all of my cheese babies the same as a responsible cheesemonger.
Of course.
Some I love the most the same, and this one is the one I love the most the same. So this is Taleggio, which is going to be a washed rind cheese from northern Italy, just outside of a town called Bergamo. Cow's milk, super luscious. It's kind of like pudgy in texture. You'll notice it has a nice little like orange rind on the outside. That's going to give it a really savory kind of bacony flavor to it, which is why it's so much fun with these Reese's peanut butter cups. Because if you've ever made what's it, the Elvis sandwich with like the peanut butter and the bacon and throw some Nutella in there and absolute heaven.
That nuttiness of the peanut butter just complements those meaty flavors in the taleggio. You get the nice mingling of the creamy textures together. Yeah, and this is a cheese that really loves chocolate in all of its forms.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this is one of the cheeses I mentioned that I just think about with Reese's Pieces or Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. So delicious.
Yeah, and I love the kind of gritty texture of the peanut butter inside the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup with the super creaminess of that taleggio. I would say this is one of the more complex pairings out of all of them because, you know, in your mouth you can taste sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami, and then everything else that your brain puts together to equal apricots or pizza is all just a combination of flavor molecules that sort of interact in your sinuses there. And so this is going to have so much of that umami, so much of that sweetness. There's some acidity from the cheese itself because it's still kind of a younger style cheese. Salt is obviously there. It checks all the boxes for me.
It's good stuff. I really love this combination. Yeah, it's fantastic. The next cheese that we have on the plate is a really fun one. This is coming from Croatia, which is a place not a lot of people think of for cheese, but it has a really rich history. This is coming from Pasca Serrana. They've been making cheese since the mid-40s, so a long history of cheese. And they focus primarily on sheep milk cheese. This one is actually a combination of sheep and cow's milk, so it's a cool little Franken cheese that we have going on. The sheep's milk is all coming from the Isle of Hog, right off the coast. Really rocky terrain, harsh, so the sheep's, they love it, but cows can't hang out there. So all the cow's milk is coming from mainland Croatia. So really cool expression of that part of the world. With the cow's milk, it's buttery. The sheep's milk is really nice and nutty. It's aged around 5 months or so, so it's sliceable, but still it melts on the palate in a really beautiful way. So this one, to me, is just really snackable, really leans into those fall flavors that you were talking about. Like, cook with this cheese, put it in some butternut squash or something like that. It's fantastic.
And then here we paired it with both the pink and the purple, which I guess is grape and strawberry nerds.
Fruity.
Yes, exactly. Because this is a fruitier style cheese. Like, I often get more like pineapple fruit with this one, so it's really fun to kind of see, you know, the lighter fruits, the brighter fruits to go with it. And then, of course, that texture, right? Of just like the super, super crunchy with the creamy of the cheese.
And a little bit of citric acid in the candy there, a little bit of acidity to cut through that cheesiness is really, really pleasant. So yeah, I think that is a great bite. Really, really delicious.
So this to me straight up tasted like strawberry milk. Like I was like transported to like my childhood. You know, and nostalgia is everyone's favorite flavor, right? So yeah, for whatever reason, I got a higher proportion of the pink nerds, but I love the pink nerds with that. That's really fun.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
This last combination is the one that I'm most excited about. I think that blue cheese belongs in desserts like this.
Agreed.
Like on a shortbread cookie, something like that. It is perfect for a super creamy blue cheese like this. So I think this is going to be fantastic.
And when we talk about creamy blue cheeses, y'all.
It doesn't get much
I know. So this is the pentacreme, right? And basically what that means, so for like a traditional, let's say, brie, if you take all the moisture out, so you just have the solids left behind, 50% is protein and 50% is butterfat, right? There's a double creme, which is like, you know, 63% butterfat, and then it just kind of goes up from there. This is pentacreme, which means there's like 5 times the amount of butterfat and cream in this cheese than in a standard blue cheese. So like, I'm here for it, right? And what's really fun is, you know, that blue mold is kind of breaking down the fatty acid chains in the cheese and creating that sort of spicy piquant flavor. So when you have all of that extra butterfat, that means there's going to be some that's left untouched. This is going to be a very approachable blue cheese, because fat is delicious, you know, but also because there's those whole chain fatty acids that still make it very almost like ice cream like in flavor.
Absolutely. It goes through this wonderful flavor evolution. You get the crunchy of the wafer underneath. You get the sweetness of the caramel playing with the buttery flavors in the cheese. That piquant note of the blue cheese is right on the tip of the tongue.
It's just a little sprinkle on top.
It feels very elevated, actually.
It really does. It really does. Yeah, you could serve this in a fancy restaurant, just not tell anyone that it's a Twix. And,
Yeah. And we'd be like, wow,
oh
compliments to the chef. Yeah, I think that is such a good spread.
I totally agree. Oh, this is so much fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We hope that y'all enjoy the baskets that you have as much as we've enjoyed ours. I do want to let everybody know we are going to be doing this again for Thanksgiving, so make sure you sign up because we have lots more tasty goodies to share with you next month. Have a happy Halloween, everybody. Get lots of candy.
Yeah.
And it's been wonderful snacking with you folks.
Thanks, y'all.